gusto mo apple?
No, why? Bakit?
Iwan ko ng buo.
Eh, di huwag mo ubusin. Ubusin ko mamaya. Go na. Dami yung katamaran. Buhusin mo na nga yung tubig na yan.
Bullshit?
Buhusin.
Okay, cool. I think we can start now. Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm very, very excited actually to host today's or this month's session, which is going to be focusing more on impact storytelling. So last week we did invite multiple projects who were part of the Gitcoin Grants 23 Hypothesis for Nature Stewards round. And it was really interesting to see the work that you've been doing on the ground. And for this month, we like to learn from one of the actually one of the grantee from the round, Frank, who is from GreenSofa Taiwan, will be talking more about impact storytelling. Cool. So just a little bit of house rules before we start. Please keep your microphone muted when you're not speaking. And then again, feel free to turn on your camera and say hi. But it's okay if you cannot. And feel free to ask questions or share your feedback in the chat box. Cool. I'm just gonna ask Nina, are you ready to?
Ah, shit.
Nina left. Okay, Nina's joined. Nina, can you give me a thumbs up if you're ready to record?
Yes, I'm recording.
So before we start with Frank's session, maybe all of you can share where you're joining us from. Feel free to write in the chat box. I'm so excited to see people from different parts of the world. I am now in Malaysia and it's 9 p.m. How about all of you? Sophia from the US. Okay, from Uganda. Cool. Hello, hi. Good afternoon, I think. Right, okay. Feel free to share. Keep sharing where you're coming from or joining us from today. Cool. Quick vibe check. How are we feeling today? Again, put in the chat box. How are we feeling today? Hi, Paul. Gabriel's a 4, as always. Good morning in Manaus, Brazil today. Right. Cool. Okay, Dennis is a 4 too. Cool. Keep sharing in the chat box. Right. So before we start with Frank's session, I'm just going to be giving a few updates from GainForest. So we GainForest and two of our community partners, Bees and Trees, and also Oceanus Conservation, who I think is also here. We all three participated in the Octan Epoch 7, which is co-hosted by Climate Coalition Network. So very, very happy to actually get our two of our community partners in Uganda and also the Philippines to also be part of this. So maybe I'm just gonna, maybe ask Sakwa a little bit just to give like a little bit of feedback, how it was, like how the experience was participating in Octan Epoch 7. Sakwa, are you there?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm Stephen Bright Sakwa. I'm from Uganda. And from Bees and Trees, we participated in Epoch 7 by Octant. And of course, we are also grantees for this epoch. just how it started, David shared this opportunity in the group and we checked it out. So we noticed that we were eligible. So we went for it and we applied. We also needed our MetaMask address to apply. You need it. So we added that. And it took a period of around 2 weeks. And after that, the epoch started. So people started locking GLM. It's like staking kind of money, and then you can win rewards. And then they are also able to donate to their favorite projects of the one selected. And when they donate to those favorite projects, Octant matches that funding, and then you're able to get a good amount of money. So it was a bit of a competition because it was different projects. Some were already in this Web3 area, others were not. For example, our project and that of Oceanas. So it was quite interesting because you could see people donating, other projects are having a lot of funds, then they keep donating.
Oops. I think we lost Sakwa. Right. It's not just me, right? Okay.
No, he's gone for me too. I
Right.
cannot see him anymore.
Okay. Right. Okay, I think it's fine. When he's back, we can call him again to share. But like I mentioned also, I think last month, right now we have like this mixture of Web3 people and also people who are very new to Web3. And I'm very happy to have Frank, who's already been in Web3 for quite some time, so he can also share his experience. Hi, Sakwa, are you? Yes, you're back.
Sorry,
Yes, no problem.
sorry, my connection. Yeah, so I was still sharing that we had this sort of competition where people were donating to our project, and then Octant could match the funding so that we get some significant amount. And at the end, we got around 11.5 Ethereum. For those of you who know Ethereum, when you convert it to US dollars at the current rate, you get around 30,000 USD. So as you can see, it's quite significant for us, at least at our level. And we really appreciate that opportunity. It was not so technical, just a matter of applying, then you get the funds at the end of the day. So yeah, it was quite a good experience. Emotions, seeing your funds going up, going down. At the end of the day, it's good that we've got these resources that will help us to do a lot of work. Back to you, Fatin.
Right. Thank you so much, Sakwa. So if anyone is interested to know more about Biz and Trees, feel free to reach out to Sakwa. And I can also connect you with Oceanus Conservation in the Philippines. Cool. The second and also last update will be regarding ENS name giveaway. So basically, we are, for those who participated in the Hypersets for Nature Stewards round, especially those who are new and you don't have like an ENS name yet. So for those who don't know, ENS name is basically like a username for your long wallet address. So instead of copying the whole thing, you can actually have like something simple like GainForest.eth or Fatin.eth, something like that. So we are giving these ENS names for those who participated. But coming soon, I will send the participant a round feedback form, and you can submit your interest there. So yeah, happy to be part of this. Cool. Yes. So some of you already have, and some of you don't. So we'll be focusing more on those who don't have yet. We're more than happy to buy you one. Cool. I think that's it for updates from GainForest. I think we can go back to our main agenda today, which is to listen more to Frank, who will be talking about, like a beginner's guide to impact storytelling. So, Frank, to you.
Okay, So I'll share my slides. So hi everyone, I'm Frank, and today I'll sharing about a little bit more about myself and how I grow up from the non Web3 people to Web3 people, and especially for sharing the idea or knowledge I learned about these 2 years. So although the topic of today is about the skill or the tools, or is there anything worth sharing about the impact uh, presentation, but I want to focus more about how we should build our own path about your own knowledge and how you can sharing about yourself. So oh, this is my slide, and this is me, Frank. I'm a contributor and researcher of DAO in Taiwan, and DAO means a decentralized autonomous organization. Is the words doesn't mean anything. You can think of it is just like an organization in the Web3 space. So I'm mainly a researcher, and the organization what I'm researching it in is FabDAO GreenSofa, and I participated in a project called DG Creek NFT projects, which we participate in the GainForest Gitcoin grants round this time. And the outline of today's presentation, I want to talk a little bit more about how I learned the knowledge and how to use what you learn into actions, and how to build your own path. And I think this is the main topic I want to share. Like you can build your own knowledge from your own resource, and you can find your way to uh, use your knowledge into any actions in your local space or in cyberspace or anytime, and you can find your own path. And I think after your style or your path was grown up, there's definitely a lot of things you can share. So this is the version of mine. I get my knowledge from the co-learning groups and some book clubs in Taiwan, and then I use the knowledge I get into experiments in FabDAO or GreenSofa or different DAOs in Taiwan. So the path I get is I'm a researcher, or I became a translator later, or even more, I became a little bit curator in the Taiwan's Web3 art space. And the final, I'll discuss just a little bit more about is there any tips for sharings. So the knowledge I get from Taiwan is from two book club. One is called Web340, and the other is called DAO Zero Learning. Web3.4 is still activing, so if you come visit Taiwan, I encourage you to join us. We can say hi together, and I can bring the local vibe in Taiwan to you. So the topics these two Blue Club have discussed is ranging from like how we regulation about the technology, and even more about the GDPR in European country, and how the new tech such as AI is worth discussing. What about, for example, about the AI ethics, and maybe about surveillance capitalism, or we talk some of the Web3 case studies, which is the name for Web3 for all, and we talk a lot about the identity recently, especially like the war coin and what some dilemma or some consequence it created, especially about privacy. So this is, I think, it all focus about how we better using technology in these two groups. And the material we're reading not only from books, but also the white paper or even some discussions posted in the forum. But I really enjoy the methodology about this book club. We usually pick up two material together. One is from the Web3 world, and the other is from non-Web3 world. And we encourage or invite people from non-Web3 world to talk a little bit more about the Web3 material, and vice versa to let Web3 people to discuss or to share about the non-Web3 material. So I think it's really like today's discussions or today's sessions, like me, from Web3 world to talk a lot less Web3 stuff and talk more about non Web3 content and to create more discussions in this session. So this is the format of the book club, and this is the several books we study. And I think the books isn't important, but I use this image to share is about like you can pick whatever book or whatever content you like and invite local people or find the classmate or find your enthusiasms to co-read with you, or we can co-learning together. So this is the like after the book club have become more sustainable and consistent, we read some people from, like for example, like from Japan or from different foundation, and we even invite them to join our book club in the in front from online. Because I think this is a really good opportunity to break down the distance. I think the distance is only your imagination. You can really reach out to the author or to the blog post writer, because there's no distance for them. They really want to get people who is really interested in their material and get their feedback. And I think this is how we grow so fast. But we discussed. I think it's enough deep enough to make some collaboration or connection happen. And we also even invited one iconic people in Web3 space, which is Vitalik, into our when he visits Taiwan. We invited into the book club, and he even picture this used these pictures in one of his writing notes, which is titled "The End of My Childhood." He said, "When I visit Taipei, the message that comes to me is you should rediscover your inner high school student." So we kind of like high school student or high school classmates discuss about the things we like to we are into together. And I participated the book club in a way to for kind of like the leading reading parts. Like we may split the discussion material into three parts, and I will pick one of them during that time. So this is the several slides I shares, and I want to share the point is you can build your own style or your own iconic view while you're limited some elements. For example, I personally I really like to use Google Slides, so I pick one of the template I like, and I use it every time when I'm in the same book club, or even when I'm talking about the stuff or talking about the topic in Web3 world. I use this template, and to change the color or to change the color depending on the topic I want to discuss, or changing the color according to the organization I will discuss with. For example, today I used the color same as a GainForest. It is just like a little Easter egg for people to discuss. But I think this is how you can build your own iconic or your own style, even in this such a tiny things. But you can find out your way to build that. And later we'll discuss about how you can bring your knowledge into actions. So one of the actions recently, actually is not recently, it's about several months ago. There is an exhibitions curated by a Web3 organization in Taipei, in the gallery or in the museum in Taipei. So we kind of invite people to and we build a lot of sticker, and there's a lot of different board in the ground. We invite the people, especially the children, to stick the sticker as they want, and we want to emphasize the this is a time about co-learning, co-building, or to generate in the ecosystem. So this is kind of like a small exhibitions or like a small ceremony of what we have learned in this past 2 years, and is but it's mainly focused about in the art ecosystem. So this is some of the footage of the exhibition, and later I will talk the second example of how what is my uh, action part is FabDAO, and this uh, several slides later, I have already sharing last time, so it would be a little bit someone have already heard, so I will speed up a little bit during this part. So FabDAO is full name is called Formosa Art Bank DAO, and is you can just imagine it's like a lot of people who just interested in how you can use Web3 technology to help the public, help build better public good, especially in a in a good for society, or in good for environment, or in good for educational ways. So this small uh, diagram shows us what we want to achieve. Like we can find the artist part because we mostly use NFT, and NFT you have to have the coverage coverage front page or the coverage art piece to demonstrate. So you will invite artists to collaborate it. And we want to find the activists in the lower part. Like if you are interested in ocean protections or tree restoration or river education, you can find a lot of different activists or activist uh, groups, and we want to bridge them together. Like we can build one thing which reflect the how the artist think of uh, this specific issue, and how this art piece can help the activists to reach more people. So kind of like the collaboration between foundation to collector, and build a whole generative or so-called regenerative ecosystem. So this is how what the FabDAO want to achieve. For example, this is a restoration of coral, and this is the art piece created by one of our participants. Uh, the whole art piece is not only this diagram which we can see on the screen. The actually when you buy it or when you collect it, the sum of the money will help in the real world to uh, give one coral have more restoration place in real time. So this is kind of the whole picture. Of the whole mechanism is the truly what this art piece is about. Uh, this is the other example we can find. This is just like a small souvenir you might get when you are shopping in the local gallery store, and it's kind of demonstrate that you have this is a airdrops, what we call we you can send it to others people wallet. Like you can spend your writing letter to any email you can get. So anyone receiving this stuff is kind of like a you recognize it as a fans or as a true fans. So you can see if it had a wallet of this. If you get it, then you might have the ticket, or you might be some have some privilege to do some things. So this is what NFT can achieve in some ways. So this is another, and there's some video in the at last, and you there's all movable, and you can interactive with them. This is the I think this is the beauty of NFT, because you cannot limit it its multimedia form. And the other I want to share is about the similar mechanism that different artists or different uh, organization trying to do, using NFT as only a medium and trying to achieve a broader uh, good for the society. So when the war between Ukraine and Russia have begun, a lot of people, especially artists, trying to use the flag color of Ukraine to support for the Ukraine. And while the collector collect this art piece, due to the smart contract between, you can see like this small machine behind the art piece, when someone collect it, it would automatically deliver the deliver the cash to the wallet address from the Ukraine. So this is the RPs during that time. And at last, this is the projects what FabDAO have done ourselves. This is called project percentage. So we invited six well-known generative artists in Taiwan to use in their way to depict the beauty of mountain in Taiwan. So we try to uh, get some funded via this NFT project percentage to use this money to help broaden different experiment or broaden any mechanism experiment in Web3, especially in Taiwan. So this is how me was a part of it, because we after getting this money, we want to build our own rules and trying to build our own projects and trying to use this money to build greater impact after this after the FabDAO was funded. So this is the different RPs we can see. This is one of the artists. Although these artist RPs are different, they are made by the same coding systems. After you input in different parameter, they will see they are alike, but they are not the same. So this is the other one, and we have honor to get invited to the Artlands Electronica for this art piece because it's interactive and it's had the broadened um, vision of what artwork and an NFT at that time is kind of like a buzzword. So it's kind of like broaden this vision of NFT or Web3 into reality. And later, we try to invite the collector of these NFT projects and invite them to discuss how they imagine what is good for Taiwan means or what is good for public means and how can we achieve our vision. And we try to gather everyone's imagination and try to go and build our own rules step by step. So this is different footage of our discussion process, and this is one of the final uh, version of our discussions. We put it into some like a improvement proposal. Like this is what different like the rules by the organization. You build your own rule. It is a really important characteristic of DAO in especially in Web3 space. So the structure of FabDAO, I think I can skip it, but this is I want to emphasize that you can find some great opportunity in Web3 space because it's really about autonomy, and autonomy means you create your own circumstances, or you create your own path, finding your own teammate together. Okay, so this is the same slides I discussed before. This is the where I sharing about the projects we participate in the GainForest funding. So it's about river restoration. And to talk a little bit more, there's two groups. One is FabDAO, and the other is called the River Restoration Group. They call HEEP, HEEP. So actually, there's two group of people. One in FabDAO, we can find some participator who is really interested about river, and in HEEP, we can find people who is really interested about how to use technology to help river restoration or river education much easier or much accessible. So these people overlap, and we find connection between them, and we we use this project as a opportunity for two people to meet and to connect. And the first event we held is we invite these old people to walk around the river we care about and to know exactly what the the organization want to achieve and what they are fighting for. So this is the picture of at that time. And after discussing a lot of several times, we want to put more emphasis on the education part, and we narrow down our target target um, into one animal. This is called the white belly chicken, and this is there's two example we need to discuss before because they inspire us a lot. So one is called the Nishigoid NFT project, is from Japan, and when you talk about the projects which is using NFT or using Web3 technology to help local revitalization, this projects you cannot be is cannot be missed because it's kind of like one of the largest and one of the famous, and I think, in my opinion, one of the most successful projects in the world. And we're kind of using the same mechanism to using in Taiwan in the river space. Then this is the art piece they created in the Nishigoid, because the Nishigoid is the city who who breed this fish. And I think if you're interested in it, there's a lot of article discuss about this. And I think that the art piece is not the point. I think the point is every place have their own story. So you can use the same mechanism or the same uh, framework to tell your own story, and at that time you will definitely find some good artist. Or I think it's especially when we are when at that time we didn't have AI or stable diffusion or uh, other tools to generate artworks. But now I think there's a lot of ways to generate artworks. So if you didn't have uh, good artists, you might use AI as one of the artist designer to help you uh, improve your artworks. Or the point is about using this kind of frameworks to most importantly to talk your own story. So we kind of inspired by Nishikori and NFT projects and to build our own projects in Taiwan. And the other is the left side is kind of it's called the test aquarium. It's an interactive form of little little game, because and in Web3 world, your wallet is kind of like your account, and you can the account is not only get money, you can also put some item in it. You can buy some item and put it in your account. So when we connect our account into this aquarium webpage, at first the webpage, the aquarium, there's nothing. But after you connect your account with it, we called it to sync with your wallet. Your what you collect in your wallet will automatically show in the aquarium. So for us, it's kind of like the way to demonstrate like you own what you've collect, and we kind of want to use this idea to help educating educating about for the children about the different topics in what we all want to discuss later. So, and before we launch in our NFT project, we also have a lot of discussion about what's river or what's ecologically or what this kind of project should be aware of or be cautious of. So I think collaboration means you have to know different language or what different domain knowledge or different traps or different um, you have to really understand what they are talking about or what they are preventing for. So I think for me, I'm not personally really eco background or or participated with previous eco-friendly projects. So I think for me, using different projects to learn different domains is really a great opportunity because you are collaborating with a specialty and you can get your answer really quickly, and you can discuss, you can knowing the front end uh, discussions by just chatting with them. So I really enjoy this collaboration because it's not only about the project, it's about we find two group of people and that they have deep connection and build a deep connection between them. So this is the chicken we find about, and we kind of uh, use it into a cartoon or so-called the e-pets, electric pets, or tagomachi forms. And after fulfilling or finishes some tasks, such as you take a picture of that chicken in the river zone, or maybe more easily you just fulfill some some forms and share it in your social account, which the form is about river education. After finish a series of questions or series of tasks, you will get that uh, e- electronic chicken. So this is the final event of that. This is participated with the elementary school in Taipei, and this is some page, and we can see there's some banner or there's some quoted, which is all about the river, and we try to enhance the river awareness and the ecological awareness for the elementary school in their own language and in not in a intellectual presentation or classroom style. And this is this screen is the final version of what I'm talking about, the takomachi. And at that time NFT had already became a infamous name because it's easily connected with scam or hype or flip in Taiwan at that time. So we try to, uh, especially when we are uh, talking with the classmate or talking with the children, because it is equally like talking to their parents. So we built a lot of uh, tools, flyers, or paragraph or small cards to demonstrate that we didn't want to hack your or get your child to pay for us. No, that's not what we want. We want to just use this neutral NFT, and we want to build build the educational part more. So we found one way to didn't have to get the money, and so we choose. This is a little bit detailed, but we choose one of the chain which is not need that money, and use it as a transition to fulfill our intent. And this is the final version of that. And oh, I see Dennis has raised his hand. Do you want to ask questions now?
Maybe he accidentally clicked it.
Okay. So I
But I
can.
think, yeah, you can proceed first. We can have a Q&A
Okay.
after this.
Okay. So I'll speed up a little bit, and we even use the some of the Web3 or the online exhibition web page to showcase it in a different way. This is one of the view of that room. So from the idea start to the art piece itself, and it's all interactive, and you can flip the page or you can play with the Game Boy uh, at this online virtual exhibition room. And this is a small video. I think I think I skip it, and if at the final time, if we still have time, we can read it then. And so back to the topic today. So for me, I'm kind of like my path is from book club to mimic it way into fight club, because I think I've find a way to demonstrate myself, or even to reach for the resource, or to truly get something done. And that, I think, for me, the book club, especially Web34, is really the nurtures me to even to today. And so the path for me is research, collect, writing, and participating, and most importantly, sharing, because I think I'm one of the people who shares a little bit more, or if anyone invited me, I will uh, mostly not, if I'm time is available, I'm more frequently to say yes. So for me, why sharing matters, because I think knowledge multiply when you shares. And the second point is the important, because you can build trust and your own credibility through consistently sharing. And I think the trust is a really important part when you want to build connection, especially when two groups of people. I think the one who shares is sometimes the connection point to grow from. And it, especially, you will attract some people enjoyed your slide or what you are into it, and you will find collaborator or some even mentors or even future partner. And it also inspire others to take action and care about what they are like. Such, I am inspired by people I heard, or heard their sharing, and inspire me to take action. So I encourage others to take actions if you're hesitated, or if you feel you didn't have the ability to do so. So how we shares, when you are preparing yourself, there's a lot of public resource. You can get, like, just call this the CC0, and it's all usable. And at that time, you will know the authorizes license, what you can do at that at that different content. You cannot, for example, you cannot claim it is owned by you, but you can share it to everyone and encourage other use to use that content. And how can you start? You can give talks at small meetups, such as here this online sessions. You can have the small talks in your community events, or you can host your own community events. And maybe third, you can translate some complex concept into your own plain language, or even your own language. I think, although there's a lot of different AI tools now, in to using in the most understandable way in your mother tongue is usually the best way to organize yourself and to start your first sharing. And I think, while I'm doing a lot bit more about the sharing, I've noticed the onboarding part is also a really important. Sharing helps onboarding the newcomers into the community much more easily. So there's a lot of things you will discuss a lot frequently, repetitive, but for the newcomer, it is always their first time to get into that place. Although we will definitely have recording, we will definitely have the transcript, but when you tell the newcomers to, oh, you can just look video A with transcript B, or with the form C, then you will get fully onboarding. But after doing so, I didn't think that's works, because I think it's really important to showing that the people here care for the newcomers and encourage the newcomers to ask questions. I think this interaction is really important to let the newcomers to stay in the community, or even build their strong relationship with the community more. And so here is what I think is about. For me, is about what I mentioned is about the Fight Club things. So after sharing and after getting knowledge and after writing, I was invited to participate in two. I think it's not small, but it's medium scale uh, study or research about. It's about how to use Web3 or Web3 technology, especially in Taiwan, especially in the legal part. So this is to collaboration with the government in Taiwan, and I'm one of the researcher, and I'm not here to showing off like, oh, I'm really great at research. No, I just want to talk. You can build your own ability or credential just by sharing your story, and some people will notice you, and after sharing repetitively, you might get some opportunity you cannot imagine, or you cannot get why you didn't share anything. And I will just talk little bit more about the DAO because it is one of the most main researcher topics I research about. So we can see just at the last sentence, I think this is one of the definition. I like the DAOs a lot. So DAO is just like a group chat with a shared bank account, and it is just a quote from one of the political professor in US. And although there's a lot of differentiate or discuss about DAO in previous 2 years, for me, I think DAO is the emergent form of recursive public, and I think DAO isn't matters. I think the matter is the recursive public or the recursive this word. So, what is recursive public? It is a public that is vitally concerned about themselves and how they can maintenance and how they can modification in the technical, legal, practical, or conception ways in different ways. This is a organization that care about their own maintenance, and they will self modification after different input and output. I think this is the importance. You can see from the history, like the co-ops exercise, and recently, I think DAO movement is one of the recursive public. But in future, I think they will have different forms. But DAO is kind of like a new. They have the same spirit, but in a new space. The new space is the Web3 space. So it's all about collective decision and collective ownership. And I think there's about the final slides of me. Oh, this is I after the finish the transcript the to study. I was invited to. I have focusing more a lot more about what different country see different technology, and into broader what different country regulates their new technology, and what even broader is how they communicate with or how they attack or defense with each other. So there's a book called Digital Empires, and I was honored to invited to translate it in Mandarin, and this is the most recently what I have done. So I become a not only a researcher but also a translator from the path I have grown with. So, and final some tips about the sharing. I think for me, book club is a great starting point, but finding your own starting point is finding any you feel easy or you feel cozy or you feel comfortable for about is just a good starting point. And Nafari has told me to share some tools, but for me, I think the simple tool is enough. Like for me, I'm best familiar with Google Slides because when I'm in college, I use it a lot, and I really like the easy or the intriguing about Google Slides, so I use it all the time. And but if you have to talk a little bit more about some nerdy tools, there's some HackMD, which is kind of like the coding. Uh, you can use it in the markdown way that we have talked. There's a video who shares about the GainForest because when you are apply for the GainForest, you have to use it in a markdown way. So HackMD is kind of like a great markdown editor. And if you want to build some more fashionable slides, you can use Canvas. I think there's a lot more about different tools, but I think simple and what you're using most fluently is enough. And when we talk about tools, we will definitely talk about AI now. But for me, I mostly use AI in digesting the different resource and onboarding different domain knowledge because I have to know different domain frequently. I have to swift it between different knowledge. and I need to someone to discuss to find the analog what I understand before, and I want to try to find the similarity between different domains. So this time I will use AI. But as for that, like text to imaging, text to video, or imaging, I think for me I'm not that using that much because I'm a little bit uh, feeling frustrated by there's too much, like when you talk a slides you have to use your quote and quote it in text to image. I think I'm not that type, so I mostly use AI in uh, digesting the resource, and what I presented actually is didn't have that much AI generative content. And for the last tips, I think feel free to fork it. Fork it means copy and edit it. And for me, like I was inspired, or I was encouraged, or I was nurtured by a lot of open source spirit, and I encourage other to use my slides or use my application or use my content to generate your own things. For example, like we have discussed the framework about the Nichigoid or our project's NFT. You can use it and use it in your own content, use it in your own story. I think it's really great because it's all open sources in the online, and you can use it and sharing and let other people sharing and use it to get more resource. So I think, although there are some slides, but I think this is my today's sharing. So thank you very much, and welcome any questions.
Right. Thank you so much, Frank. I personally learned a lot. You mentioned a lot, not just about storytelling part, but also on community, introduction a bit to DAO, and translating what you learn in Web3 to into action, and then like tell the story through the materials that you have. So thank you so much. I will open. We have around 5 minutes more. We can open like a Q&A session now. Does anybody have any questions for Frank? Anyone? Feel free. Max, Are you saying something? Because I can see you talking, but I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. I'm not sure if it's just me, but yeah. Maybe you can write down, Max, because we cannot hear the question. Uh, yeah. Sorry, Max, just saying that if you're talking, we couldn't hear you. But feel free to write it down. But anyone else, if you have any question to Frank, feel free to unmute yourself. Anyone? Right. Okay. Maybe Frank, you can also share your email address. Maybe if anyone has any. Right. Cool. Max, if you have any specific questions, you can also write to Frank. Because I'm sorry we couldn't hear you. But again, thank you so much. This is so enjoyable, Frank. And you also mentioned a lot about, um, teaching and sharing, so we can get more people to be onboarded to this community. So I think that's really the spirit of this call event. So thank you so much for sharing.
I think I have still some time, so I
Mm,
can. So I think it's kind of like using myself as a experiment, because I think I have told I have sharing some slides or share some topics
mm,
during these 2 years, but I personally I didn't want to get paid, but also I'm thinking that preparing this stuff needs time or needs encourage. So I find a way to do that is using myself as a project to apply for Gitcoin grants. So actually, I have used it about 1.5 years before. So this is the web page. So I'm not here to want people to donate me because it is already end. But I want to encourage people like after doing so, you will find a way to sustain yourself. Because although I don't want to get paid, but actually I want to get paid in a way I feel comfortable. And I think this is the most fun, most interesting part is after you have something, and you will figure out how to get raised or how to get funded because you are in this space, because we talk a lot, we research a lot more about Gitcoin, and I found, and maybe I can use myself or use this project to get fund, because knowledge is kind of like the public goods, and you're sharing. Maybe other people thinks it is worth paying. It's not from the organization you were invited, but from the audience, under audience who felt inspirable. So I just want to say it. The projects you do, you will find some interesting way to get funded. Although get funded is really hard, but I think Web3 space has a lot of different opportunities. So this is my supplement. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you so much. Cool. Any last questions? We have 1 minute left. Yes, David mentioned we can help you with to apply or onboard you to Gitcoin, give us and opt-in applications. Cool. Right. Okay. Cool. Cool. If we don't have any questions, I will close this meeting. But again, thank you so much, Frank, and to everyone who attended. I will send the link to this recording for anyone who didn't attend or you would like to revisit Frank's session. So yeah, thank you so much. Bye bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you, everyone. See you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.